2-2 the count. Struck him out looking.
I can promise you this, if Tyler Stevenson didn't have to go back out and catch in the very next inning, there's a 100% chance he would have gotten more upset because that was an awful call. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Shohei Ohtani put on a show yesterday, smacking 2 home runs. Juan Soto, he might be getting hot, ladies and gentlemen. He went lefty-lefty the other way, and the Yankees are still facing off against their interdivision rivals, the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, real quick, I want to mention that today is Memorial Day, so if you're watching this and you've ever served or you're currently serving, thank you so much for all that you do. We really appreciate it. Now, we do have some breaking news. Cole Tucker has been DFA'd, aka released by the Pirates. I mean, that's what happens when you have a negative 2.1 WAR and a 55 OPS plus in your first 154 games, but he's still winning because he's dating Vanessa Hudgens and you're not. Also, the Pirates traded for Chang. That's it. That's the breaking news. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the games from yesterday. And oh no, the Phillies defense just, they did the thing again. Everyone was safe, and then 2 more score on a baseball that did not leave the infield. Zach Wheeler was able to stay strong. He was credited for 1 earned run after striking out 7. Chris Bassett had the exact same stat line, although he gave up 1 run total, 7 strikeouts over 6 innings. Wheeler threw 101 pitches. Chris Bassett threw 100 pitches. Anyways, we head to the top of the 8th inning where Nick Castellanos momentarily became the mayor of New York as Adam Ottavino imploded yet again. The Phillies take a 4-3 lead, and on one swing, Nick Plummer has his first hit and first home run on the very first time he ever swung the bat in the big leagues. Eduardo Escobar comes up huge defensively, and then also later on with the stick with a walk-off hit against the division rivals, the Phillies. If you're a Phillies fan, cover your ears because the Mets now lead the series 9-3 and they're 32-17. They are looking like world beaters even without Scherzer and DeGrom. The A's and the Rangers, if you are an Oakland fan, this game just might have been one of those, I might turn this off if we don't score by the 6th inning. So luckily for you, the 5th was your saving grace. You guys answered down by 4. Sean Murphy and Elvis Andrus, they cut it to a 2-run deficit after they both drive in a few on some doubles. Oakland was basically gifted the lead after Texas committed 5 errors on the day. None bigger, in my opinion, than Simeon's in the 8th inning, as that one allowed the go-ahead run to score. The sloppiness continues, though, as Marcus Semien kind of makes up for it. He ties it up. The game is now 5-5 after a wild pitch, but the A's do end up walking it off. The 38-year-old phenom, Jet Lowry, is basically auditioning for other teams at this point, and I hope that he gets moved before the deadline because the A's have 0 chance of making the playoffs. Ship him off to a team that actually has a chance. The Padres and the Pirates, Jurickson Profar's 2-run home run gotta feel like a 21 home run for Pittsburgh fans because if they go down, well, actually, I shouldn't really say that because the Pirates have been making a few comebacks as of late, but Mackenzie Gore was on the bump, so again, it must have felt like a 20-run home run. 7 shutout innings and 9 strikeouts for Mackenzie Gore, only 2 hits allowed. He lowers his ERA to 1.71. Yeah, the kid is good. The Padres bullpen, they ruin it for Gore, so he's unable to get the dub, but the Padres do come away as victors because Trent Grisham doinks one off the foul pole. He really needed this because even with that 2-run home run, Trent Grisham has a 62 OPS plus, so that is not good at all. The Padres now have 30 wins. They're 30-17. And also an update on Fernando Tatis. He is expected back in the first week of July, so I wanted to make sure you guys knew that going forward. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, I will never bet against the Dodgers ever again. I thought there's no way the Diamondbacks continue to get beat by LA, and guess what? Will Smith is approaching the most underrated player in baseball because he's not even talked about as a top 2 catcher, and that's because his defense isn't as good as JT Realmuto or Yasmani Grandal, but either way, his offense is on point. Freddie Freeman and Mookie have been RBI machines lately, but this one was all Freddie. Trey Turner grounds out for an RBI and then grabs a hit later on in the 6th to extend his hitting streak to 21 games. I mean, the guy's had a 27-game hitting streak in his career, now at 21. Trey Turner is so good. Tyler Anderson somehow throws another gem. So again, I was betting against Tyler Anderson, not really against the Dodgers, and yes, I'm salty and he shut me up, but he goes 6 shutout innings with 6 punchies, only 1 walk. Kimbrel does allow a run in the 9th, but he strikes out 2 for his 10th save, and the Dodgers sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks and cost me some monies. Jeremy Pena had to use every ounce of strength he had on this one. He hits a wall scraper home run for the game's first run. Marco Gonzalez, he won't get much help though because Luis Garcia was locked in for the Astros. He was unhittable through 5. He ends up allowing a base hit, the first of the game for the Mariners in the 6th inning, and then Ty France does what Ty France does. He goes the other way. He ties it up for a clutch RBI. Luis Garcia leaves after 1 earned run with 6 strikeouts over 6 innings. And the Mariners, in my opinion, left in Marco a little bit too long. He tried to go 8, which in hindsight, maybe not is the best idea, as Yordan Alvarez delivers with a clutch RBI. Seattle's going to fight back, though. They load the and that is a double play to end it. I am so sorry, Mariners fans. So Seattle is 15th in OPS as an offense and 23rd in ERA as a pitching staff. That's not going to cut it. Houston, they're now 30-18, and they have a 5-4 advantage over the Mariners in the series this year. The Jays and the Angels, possibly the game of the year. We have a candidate at least down in Anaheim. Shohei, that is his 10th home run. He's not done there. We'll talk about his second one in just a second. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Alejandro Kirk, they tied up, but Kirk's RBI single starts a huge third when Gurriel given a free RBI with the bases loaded, and Tapia's single drives home Biggio and Chapman. So it's 6-2 Blues. No, it's not. Ohtani, 11 home runs, 32 RBIs, 7 stolen bases. He is still so good. Max Stassi ties it up at 6 apiece when Taylor Ward belts one deep. He follows up that 2-run shot with an RBI double to push their lead to 9-6. Taylor Ward right now is the Angels' second best player. Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, and Shohei Ohtani, but Shohei is still the most talented in my opinion. The Angels bullpen folded with a capital F yesterday. The third replays itself as Gurriel walks with the bases loaded, and then Tapia singles in another one right before Teoscar takes a walk with the bases loaded, so it's tied up yet again. Max Stassi and Bo Bichette, they trade home runs, so both of those go 400 plus feet. So who is going to come out on top? Well, Lourdes Gurriel already has 4 RBIs on the day. He makes it 6 after shooting one the other way. Phelps comes in for the save, and the Halos have now lost 5 in a row. The Jays, the opposite, they have won 5 in a row. The Brewers and the Cardinals, 2 words for this one: Corbin Burns. So he was helped out by Omar Narvaez, giving him an early lead to work with, and then DJ Peterson as well as Rowdy Tellez. They make it an almost impossible task for St. Louis to make the comeback because they both go yard and they golf a few pitches out the park. It's 5-0, and then Lorenzo Cain's second hit is an RBI infield single. So Michaelis was tagged for 6 earned runs, whereas Corbin Burns was basically flawless. 2 hits over 7 shutout innings, striking out 11 along the way. And over his last, let's just call it 300 innings, he has been DeGrom-like. A 2.26 ERA and a 2.02 FIP. He has been nuts. Lorenzo Cain, I think, has a home run later on in that game as well. Now, staying with the Brewers, I just want to say Brandon Woodruff is unfortunately joining Freddie Peralta on the IL. He has a ankle sprain, so he's going to be missing some time. The Twins and the Royals, Royce Lewis with shades of Byron Buxton. His first big league game in center field. Unfortunately, he has to leave as a precaution. Urshela is starting to heat it up. He now has 4 home runs and 20 RBIs after that tater. Nick Gordon came in replacement of Royce Lewis, and he uses that opportunity to belt a rare home run. Trevor Larnach, he has such easy pop, he goes the other way. And Sonny Gray had 2 hits over 6 shutout innings. He probably could have gone longer, but just like Zach Greinke left early with an injury, and same with Sonny Gray. He leaves with minor pec tightness, that's what they're calling it, and so many things in the body can just strain itself or get hurt. Sometimes I think to myself, when am I going to I actually shouldn't say that out loud because my shoulder kind of hurts. But Kyle Garlick doubles in Luis Arraez, and the Twins win easy. The White Sox and the Cubs, unfortunately, the injury bug keeps biting Chicago as Tim Anderson leaves in the 5th with a groin injury. Those are never fun. I had that in high school. Ooh, that's awful. So I'm sorry, Chicago fans. But the silver lining, though, Dylan Cease was back in business. Dylan strikes out 5 Cubs, which happens to be his former team. Just unfortunately, Marcus Stroman and his defense were a little bit better, so he goes 7 shutout innings. Doesn't allow any runs, whether they were earned or unearned. Pollock ends up scoring on a lucky wild pitch, and this one is going to need extras, where the White Sox answer in not only the 10th, the 11th, but also finally the 12th inning, where Jake Berger, he walks it off. He's having himself a pretty decent 2022, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, and props to the White Sox for staying optimistic. They are back to 23-23, and they keep on fighting. The power of Gleyber Torres is back. It took him about 100 games last year to hit 9 home runs. So here's his 9th home run of the season. So powerful Gleyber is back in business. G-Man Choi immediately answers with an Oppo Taco. He destroys the Yankees, and Taylor Walls is getting some payback because he's kind of been honed in on by the Yankees fan base on Twitter. He starts a huge double play for Shane to end the 6th inning. So Shane goes 6 with 7 strikeouts. He lowers his ERA to 2.01. He is filthy, striking out nearly 40% of the hitters that he's facing. Ron Marinaccio, I think that's how you say his name. He can't save Luis Severino. He walks in a run and then hits a batter. I'm sure the Yankees fans were nice to him on Twitter. Judge kind of saves the vibes a little bit with his 18th home run, but Gallo flies out to end it. A lot of people are calling for Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo to get shipped off to space. So the season series is now 2-2. The Rays have won 2. The Yankees have won 2. A very easy game to recap. The Tigers and the Guardians. Harold Castro has gone very home run happy as of late. And same with the Candyman. Shout out to Elvin Rodriguez, who threw 4 shutout. And then the bullpen came in and dominated dominated. Cleveland gave their pitcher almost no run support, so Tristan takes the hard loss, even though he struck out 8 with 1 walk through 7 2/3. Gregory Soto carved it up in the 9th, striking out 2 en route to his 8th save, and the Tigers won a series against Cleveland. That doesn't happen often, so GG's to them. Max Fried allows a home run to Jorge Soler, but his lineup had his back. Ozuna and Austin Riley both hit monster shots. They go back-to-back. The one from Riley went almost 440 feet. William Contreras won't stop hitting extra base hits. He grabs an RBI on this one, and Ozuna, goodness, one of the longest home runs of the year, 458 feet on that swing. He has 17 home runs over his last 77 games, which is cool, but he has an awful 279 on base percentage, so he is the anti-Moneyball approach. He doesn't get on base. Riley and Olsen, they upped their slugging percentage after 2 more RBI doubles, and Max Fried was frying folks. 5 strikeouts in 6 innings, but he did allow 9 base runners, so he wasn't his best, but that's how good Max Fried is. Soler has another home run, but that was it for the scoring as Kenley Jansen saves it. That is 12 on the season. Juan Soto, you know he's about to go off for an insane stretch if he's doing this. Lefty, opposite way. Juan Soto, again, in my opinion, it's Mike Trout and Juan Soto as the best hitters in all of baseball. But joining Sonny Gray and Zach Greinke as guys leaving with injuries yesterday. Kyle Freeland, he exits. Josiah Gray gets 2 more runs of support in the 2nd off an error and a Cesar RBI single. Josiah was wild, but he was, as they call it, effectively wild. 4 walks, but only allows 1 earned run in 5 innings. Lane Thomas connects for his 3rd. He's been a bit disappointing this year after breaking out when he was traded from St. Louis to Washington last year. But I have to shout out Tanner Rainey. He steps in and stops the Colorado comeback dead in their tracks, and he earns save number 5 without allowing a single hit over the last nearly 2 innings of work. The Red Sox and the Orioles, okay, kind of an easy game to recap as well, but for good reasons if you're a Boston fan. Bobby, I almost said that in the King of the Hill voice. Bobby, that doesn't sound anything like it. He and Franchi both smack homers, and the Boston Red Sox use the Orioles as their personal home run derby. Devers, Arroyo, Hernandez, they all leave the yard as well. And I'm going to show the rest of the game and all of the run support for Nick Pivetta, who threw 6 very solid innings, 5 strikeouts with 1 earned run. But the Red Sox end up with 12 runs, and I have to ask a question while we're showing the highlights. Does Rafael Devers have a chance at 400 doubles and 400 home runs? He's 25 years old. He has 164 doubles and 123 home runs already. Either way, this Boston team is going to absolutely rake the rest of the way, and they have been the most potent offense in all of Major League Baseball the last 2 weeks. I think they're averaging almost 8 runs a game in that stretch. And last but not least, Tyler Maylie and Alex Cobb both had some nasty stuff yesterday. They combined for 16 strikeouts between the both of them. The Reds got to Cobb in the 2nd, though, making it 1-0, and Maylie got to the 6th with a bunch of pitches thrown already, but he didn't allow a single hit the first 6 innings, so he takes a no-hitter into the 7th, where Thairo Estrada spoils it. What a jerk, bro. What the heck? Strickland gets the final out of the 7th after Tyler Maylie has to come out, and the Reds, their all-time bad bullpen continues to show its ugly head. Jock slaps, get it? He slaps an RBI single, and Evan Longoria goes the other way for a massive 3-run missile. That's 321 career home runs for the 36-year-old, a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Luis Gonzalez doubles in 2 more, and the Reds bullpen has allowed the most walks and earned runs of any bullpen in Major League Baseball, so they're just not good. Well, everyone, that is going to do it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, happy Memorial Day, and thank you to everyone that has served or is currently serving. We really appreciate all of your service. And to end today's video, let's show the web gems.
Smoke towards center. Harris got a good job and a diving catch.
Appreciate that. Good defense saves you an out.
Center field, Morrell back some more, jumps.
Been swinging the bat pretty well, and we finally see an outfielder really have to retreat. Morrell tracking this one.
And this is caught out there by Sam Hilliard.
There's the snap throw to 3rd, and it's in time.
You picked that up. You saw him looking down there. And look at that transfer, that pop time. Wow. Get him to bite.
Sharply to short on the backhand. Baez slings it to 1st. Torkelson
quickly, because Straw can really get down that line. Spencer Torkelson, that we've seen so many times, come up with that.
Shift is on here. Line drive, caught out of the air. Get up, P-Wizzy. Athlete.
Yeah, perfectly timed.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long?